We are all related. Go back 16 million years, we share a common ancestor with the chimpanzee. 70 million years back, we're a cousin to the rabbit. And 340 million, we're siblings to reptiles. And if you go back far enough, every living creature descends from something lucky in primordial soup. I can confidently claim kinship with every single life form that swims, walks, climbs, burrows, flies, volplanes, scuttles, slithers, oozes, and twitches anywhere on this beautiful blue-green ball that we call our home. Even more so, the quality of our lives and even our very survival is clearly intertwined with the welfare of the incredible panoply of biodiversity that populates the globe. The fortunes of a single link in any given food chain cast dramatic ripples up and down the line, as we've repeatedly seen but failed to learn. Despite this painfully obvious fact, the vast majority of planetary stakeholders are excluded entirely from decisions that affect them first, and the natural kingdom enjoys very few effective advocates in human affairs. I would like to change that. Now, the other day, I happened to see a speaker from one of the thicker parts of the Bible Belt speaking out against what he perceived as the evil of gay marriage. With all seriousness, he eyed his audience and he earnestly told them, well, if we allow this, it's only a small step to people wanting to marry an animal. Now, personally, I'd be more inclined to speak about the evil of intolerance, but I wish I knew that guy's name because I would be proud to send him a thank you note and say that as I heard him, I was struck by a beautiful realization. I do want to marry an animal. What a great idea! Perhaps I ought to clarify, before too many of you recoil in horror, I'm not interested in having sex with an animal. My tastes in that respect are limited to a surprisingly small subset of humanity. What I am is in love with them, and dedicated to them, and profoundly concerned with their happiness and well-being. I believe that the depletion of species, currently vanishing from the Earth at the rate of 1 every 20 minutes, diminishes us all. Besides which, I've already tried marriage with another human being, and something tells me this is not only a wiser thing to attempt, but also a much better match. The bond I want to celebrate is with a creature that first left its paw print on my heart when I was growing up in the woods, the gray wolf. I was about 6 years old when I first wandered into a clearing in the woods in my pajamas late one night, and as I lay in the grass staring up at the sky, I heard the wolves, and they came and circled the clearing where I lay. They completely captured my imagination, and for years I watched them religiously, leaving them offerings of meat that I bought near its expiry date. As they began to associate my scent with gifts of food, I could get progressively closer to them. Until one fateful day I was perched in a tree watching them come to the base of it to collect my offering. I leaned out a little bit too far, the branch I was on snapped, and I fell into the middle of them, knocking the wind out of myself. They made a circle around me, raised their hackles, and showed me their teeth. Now, I had watched them long enough to know how those social interactions worked, and that they would follow the lead of the alpha. So I rolled onto my back, and I showed him my throat, and he came up, he sniffed me, he gave me a little shake with his teeth, he let me touch him, and they took off. I felt 10 feet tall and afraid of absolutely nothing for at least a month. Some 2 years later, that same alpha wolf got tangled in a barbed wire fence, and he was shot by a local farmer. When I buried him, I kept one of his teeth that had once been at my throat to remember him by. I carry this tooth with me everywhere that I go, feeling more attached to it than to any other manufactured symbol like a wedding ring, and I hereby declare it a token of my bond with this elegant, breathtaking, wild thing. Should the day arrive that wolves vanish from our world, eminently feasible and currently likely within my lifetime, I know that a real portion of my spirit shall perish alongside. So, I have composed wedding vows for joining my life into a state of union with theirs. Do I, Michael, take this species to be my lawfully wedded wife partner, to cherish their well-being and work to preserve their environment, to protect their interests as my own, and to honor their crucial contribution to our ecosystem with the choices I make every day, in order that we both shall live, I do. Do you, wolf, graceful, wise predator, live on in accordance with your nature, teaching us to live in harmonious natural balance with the environment around us as you do, to enrich our world and our spirits and our imagination with the splendor of your existence, for as long as we all shall live? I dearly hope so. Clearly, we can't cohabitate. I could make absolutely no positive contribution to their domain with my presence. But I pledge a minimum of 3 hours a week of my time for the rest of my existence to work on improving their odds for survival. That time may be spent writing letters to politicians on their behalf, contributing to a cleaner environment and battling climate change and other wolf-killing issues, or donating those hours' wages to an organization that otherwise supports them and advocates on their behalf. In return, I will ever ask only one thing of my lupine life partner, and that is easily summed up. Live. Live free and wild and complex and breathtaking, and shape ecosystems with your presence, that your plaintive voices may cut me deeply as they ever have, and I know that your paws tread upon my world. I love you, and I fear for you, and I would unhesitatingly sacrifice myself if it guaranteed your untamed future. The day the thunder of your paws no longer harmonizes with the rhythm of my beating heart, when the mournful echo of your moonlit howl fades into the most terrible of silences, deafeningly audible to me above the tumult of every click, whir, rev, and hum of civilization and machine. On that day, with a terrible and irrevocable finality, I shall go mad, and walk further necroambulate through the waking world, dead already whether I know it or not. For of all the breathing creatures on this planet, yours is the primal and unfettered scent that touches me deepest. And what greater basis might there be for me to pledge marriage upon? Live, my wolf, my partner. Only live free. Unto thee do I pledge my troth. Be my wild wife. I encourage you, friendly viewer, to consider the benefits of entering into marriage with an animal. Nothing kinky and unnatural, nothing that damages either party, but a simple recognition of the importance of their lives to ours, and a willingness to dedicate some of your time and energy to ensuring that they continue to share the journey of existence with us. Every terrestrial vertebrate larger than a house cat is endangered. Prominent scientists, as well as associations like the National Geographic Foundation, predict the loss of 50% of the world's current biodiversity by the year 2050 at current rates. I would feel ennobled to see any of you reply to this video with your own vows to whatever wild thing makes your spirit sing. Marry an animal.